I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Hello, guys, and welcome to another Off the Rails podcast. I'm your host, Kenny, and I'm here with
Taylor, and I am also here with.
Hey everyone, I'm Tony, and I am also accompanied with
Ian, and I'm here with.
And we're back to Kenny. All right, guys, welcome to another Off the Rails podcast. Glad to have you. Today, we're starting much later than we normally would, but that's because life takes us all, doesn't it? Am
Most
I right
definitely.
or am I right?
Most definitely.
Very true.
We all seem to have had a challenging day. Yeah, challenging day. Ian, challenging day.
Call of Duty was not kind to me today. It's
Oh.
my day off.
Uh-oh.
You know, I think I would.
Kenny's echoing.
Kenny's echoing.
Yeah,
Why is Kenny echoing?
I don't know why Kenny's echoing.
Why is Kenny echoing? Let's say it's not so.
What mic are you?
How do you... three. How do we know that Kenny's echoing?
Well, because we got a comment about it, and I'm also listening to it.
Oh, we already have someone listening to our podcast?
It's David. David jumps in all the time.
Wow,
Hi, David.
he jumped in fast.
What up, David?
David was like, I'm here.
You
Quick
said
draw.
you were number 3, right?
Work,
Yeah,
draw,
Mike
McGraw.
Mike 3.
I am Mike the Third. I'm going to open up these King's Hawaiian rolls. Not an ad. You, my good sir, are not getting any rolls.
Zeus!
Why does nobody love me?
Get out of my dining room.
What am I supposed
Come on. Hold on.
Why you don't love me?
Why you bully me?
Why you never say I goodbye?
Oh, you know what I think it is? I think you guys are picking up each other in your mics.
Well, that hasn't really happened before, not to that degree.
No.
There you go. Got you. You're good. Kenny's done echoing. I believe part of it was that you guys were picking up in each other's mics because you were literally facing, like her mic was facing your face while you were talking.
Oops.
Yes. Actually, I just did the test right now, and that is what happened. So make sure you guys' mics are close up to your face and speak. You know what? Try to do this. Try to kind of cup the outside of your mic like this.
What? I
And
never
then-
had to do that before.
This is kind of a slightly new setup. We've also been down one mic before every week.
Not every week, but close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, before the podcast started, me and Taylor were talking about Mel Brooks and the wonder that is his films. Taylor, if you had to pick your absolute favorite Mel Brooks film, what are you picking?
Blazing Saddles.
Love it.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
that's a good one.
Hold on. For me personally, Blazing Saddles has a story to it behind it for me.
Okay. Do tell.
So, the year that movie came out,
Mhm.
my grandfather took my grandmother to there on their first date. She hated that movie till the day she died.
That movie is so good.
I remember the first time watching it. It actually came. It was when they were still able to play it on Dish TV, not an ad.
Oh.
And the whole movie was pretty much bleeped out. And my dad, I was sitting with my dad on the couch, and my dad's like, "I have this on DVD, so we'll just watch the real one."
Mm-hmm.
And all
Was
I could
not
do
prepared for it.
was laugh
Oh, yeah.
and laugh.
Oh, yeah, that movie.
And then he told me about my grandma. So when I went down to Burns the next time,
Mhm.
I asked Grandma, "Hey, Grandma, I've got a question." "What?" "Have you ever heard of Blazing Saddles?" My grandmother had this angry look on her face and went, "I effing hate that movie."
Top tier Mel Brooks. Love it. I think the only movies that are close to equal are Spaceballs and Men in Tights.
Men in Tights was a good one.
Men in Tights.
That'll do it.
Men in Tights is absolute gold.
The only Robin Hood portrayal with a British accent.
I love how you was that. Like some Robin Hood actors, I speak with a British accent.
But, I did like Young Frankenstein, though.
I didn't when I first watched it. When's the last time you watched it?
Maybe due for a
It's-
rewatch. No, Young Frankenstein.
It's been a couple months since I watched it. What
Okay.
do you like about it? As I know it inside and out. But
So I like the actor of Young Frankenstein. I like the Gene,
Gene Wilder.
absolutely hilarious. I actually have read the book Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the jokes, there are some jokes that are really kind of almost like niche jokes for the people who read the book, and so I get a lot more of the jokes. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Gene Wilder really carries that movie a lot with just his
He really does.
outrageous.
I'm sorry. I gotta stop and correct you guys. You keep calling it Young Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein.
Yes, you're right.
He's right.
It's
It's Frankenstein. Well,
Frankenstein.
well, he does finally admit it's Frankenstein at the end of the movie, but
Well, more like towards the middle.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, just the whole thing, everything from like, it's just in the beginning where he's angrily shouting in his little lecture hall, and he's
Frankenstein
and
as he
stabs
stabs his
himself
leg with
in-
a scalpel,
and then he just
and then just crosses
his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
He played that opera really well.
so good. I also love Igor. It's Igor, actually. Really? Well, we make up names, aren't we? Also, just the
Isn't there a hump on the other side?
yes, the movie. That's a gag I've noticed in a lot of Mel Brooks movies. Just like Prince John in Men in Tights, the moving mole.
Mm-hmm.
How it ends the movie right in his forehead.
Yes.
Hey Kenny, have you seen Young Frankenstein?
Frankenstein.
I've seen only bits and pieces of it.
We
Only bits and
really
pieces?
need to have a studio movie night.
We do.
I
Only bits and pieces.
the last time I tried watching it was actually a few months ago.
Yeah, because
Excuse me, at my place.
We was at his house.
Absolute
I still did
gold.
his HBO.
Oh, I got it on DVD. I got
I
most of
don't.
Mel Brooks's on DVD.
I would love to have it on DVD, but
I have a
don't.
double feature of that and Spaceballs on DVD. I saw that, I was like, snack! And then like 2 minutes later, I saw Blazing
Spaceballs
Saddles
is
and
like-
Case. I was like,
Spaceballs is like safe Mel Brooks.
That is probably his safest movie.
It's
yet.
like
It
yeah,
really is.
It's family friendly.
I wouldn't.
Mel
I
Brooks.
wouldn't go as far as family friendly, but
no.
it's family friendly Mel Brooks.
that's well, yeah.
I mean, let's compare it to Blazing Saddles.
Or History of the World, Part 1. I haven't
Or
watched
Young
Part 2 yet.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, or the Young Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Elevate me. Here? Now? Yeah.
Oh no, isn't it Frankenstein or is
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Steen.
I can remember if it was Stein or Steen.
It goes from Steen to Stein.
That's true.
So, that's that. Kenny,
Me.
how well versed are you in World War II history?
Can't say I'm too terribly well versed in World War II history.
So, if I were to ask you, which of these three generals was the most influential and effective, would you be able to answer the question if I asked you between Patton, Rommel, and Zhukov?
Eisenhower.
Not a choice. I specifically left Eisenhower off of that list.
Going just by the sounds of their names, I would say. Oh, what was the third one again?
Zhukov.
Yeah, that guy.
Don't get me wrong. Georgy Zhukov of the Soviet Union was an absolute mad lad. I mean,
You're gonna say Patton, aren't you?
no, I'm not.
Here's the deal.
Rommel, all the way.
The Russian war front was far more devastating.
Dude, they had actual zombies.
That the Russian war front against Germany was far more devastating
Mhm.
than D-Day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, our D-Day, like, deservedly so. D-Day was mass casualty. Whenever you do a spearhead maneuver like that, your war front's going to take some casualties, and we took a lot of casualties.
Oh yeah.
But in the battle that Russia had with Germany, that was awful.
Yeah, but we can't all say it's because Germany was an effective fighting force. Let's look at the first couple of weeks where Stalin personally took command of Russian forces and ordered stuff like Order 227, where you were not to take one step back or be shot by your own men.
Kenny, remember, cover the end of your mic.
Why are your microphones all of a sudden ineffective?
They're not ineffective.
We're just probably sitting close enough that we're picking up each other.
This has
Well-
never happened before.
We've never had four mics working effectively before. All you're doing by covering the mic is you're covering all of the other sound from coming back in, and it causes your vibrations to go back towards the mic from your hand. It's
Nerd.
Anyways,
You're a nerd, dude. Okay,
Back to
Just
it.
Do it.
I agree that the Russian front, that the Eastern Front, was by far one of the
Taylor,
bloodiest in the
stop.
war. But I don't think it's everyone thinks it's just because of the battles. And it's like, no, there was really bad leadership for the Soviets as well. And I mean, especially after Stalin's purges and stuff, a lot of the great Soviet generals who had battle experience in World War One were sent to the gulags and killed. And so combine a lot of fresh meat with a very not good leader in Stalin, and that does make for a lot of the battlefield casualties.
That Russian winter really saved them.
Oh yes, it did.
Russian winter.
Oh yes, it did.
Saved the Russian front.
Oh dude, yeah, no, that bought them the time they needed to get it in gear and take it back. Because if they had,
Not around you, anyways.
if we had a 6-month opposite flip when that happened, I feel like Russia would have lost World War II.
Russia penetrated pretty deep into Germany territory. German territory, I should say.
Well, once Russia got
I
the
just
momentum,
noticed
they
that we got a
pushed.
comment. All right, someone voted for greatest general. David said Washington.
I mean, yes, Washington was an absolute visionary, but he was not one of the 3 I pitched up. But yes, I like where your head's at, David.
Yeah, he probably would totally dominate World War II.
Washington?
Yeah, Washington.
Absolutely not. He has no. You're taking a man with muskets and horses and throwing him into literal armored tank warfare, planes from the sky.
Yeah, but he was willing to think of and willing to cross lines that most people wouldn't. So
At that day and age.
yes. So imagine the guy who's crossing the Delaware on Christmas.
Admittedly,
Across-
Washington was pretty lucky.
Agreed.
Yes.
A lot of Washington did boil down to luck.
Washington was
but he
pretty
also
lucky,
smart.
especially with how many horses got shot out from underneath them.
Not gonna dispute that, but I mean,
I would not want to be
who was
Washington's
willing
horse.
to cross those
You know how many
lines
Humvees
had
got
the
shot out from
technology
underneath
of
me?
World War II.
Well, yes, but I mean that's no different than saying Joan of Arc would do good against the Taliban. Kind of a misnomer there, bud.
I disagree with that statement.
My point
At
being,
least Washington had a military mind.
okay, fine. That's like saying William the Conqueror would do good against the Taliban.
I mean,
The
He
point
might.
being, Washington was a great general, but I don't feel like he would do well if you just plucked him up from Mount
sure
Vernon
that's
and
not
dropped
what-
him on the.
the comment section agrees with you guys.
I don't.
Washington wouldn't. He had no idea what he was doing. World War II would destroy him.
There was a lot of pressure on Washington, and he became the figurehead not by choice but by position, and kind of it was really people that put him there. The mostly the leaders from the colonies kind of put him there. He wasn't the smartest guy in the room, kind of far from it, but he was a well-liked guy. He knew some military things, but mostly what it came down to is that he was the guy that had to bear the responsibility, and he truly rose to the occasion. But there was a great deal of luck in his.
Kenny, you got an echo again for some reason. Oh, Taylor, your mic.
Bad
I don't like
diversity
your new
hire.
setup.
So sorry.
Your new setup sucks.
It does not.
It does.
I
And we
agree.
We
have
have to baby these microphones more than we ever have before.
and yet we have 4 functional microphones. At least we don't have to pass mics between each other.
I don't see how the fourth one all of a sudden gives echo.
It doesn't. But Taylor always pointing her mic straight at you. It does.
My
We now
mic
have
was
four-
pointing towards Ian.
No, actually, it was pointed at him.
It was
we
pointed
have
at him.
4 mics that work, and they work. They're sensitive, so now they're going to be picking up all of the noise. So if it's pointed towards you,
They all of a sudden got super sensitive out of nowhere.
no, they got sensitive because now they're
Also, they pick me up doing this now. Before this was a non-thing.
Yes, now they're picking you up. Now they're working effectively.
What did you do?
Fixed it.
He broke it.
Either way,
His soul's
Back-
an IOU. Have you seen that skit?
no.
What are those guys that make the
That's what I've had to do.
little gag skits?
Are they Australian?
No. It's a little cartoon. I'm not remembering what the name of those guys are.
I don't know that. Okay, here's one.
I'm gonna think of an example.
Here's one, Kenny.
What is that?
Favorite controversial general.
Favorite controversial in history? Just all through history?
All through history.
because I have one, and I know about half of the country is gonna hate me when I say it, but I love this general. But I want to hear yours first.
Make sure your mic's up on your face so that way we can hear everyone clearly, please.
Well, he's thinking right now.
But
Comment section said Putin.
I don't feel like he counts, but okay.
General? Well, I guess in Russia, Putin can be whatever he wants.
Yes, it is.
But I mean, like, if we're like adding Putin into this kind of thing, like
I don't feel like dictators should count.
Kim Jong Un would be pretty funny.
He was a KGB agent before he was a dictator, wasn't he?
You're a dictator. I don't know. That's kind of a hard question. There's like I'm flipping through my Rolodex in my head, and there's a lot to go over.
Would you like me to give mine? What do you think?
Sure.
General Sherman from the Civil War.
He.
General Burn It Down Sherman. I love Sherman. I love his effectiveness. I love his tactics. I love how he's literally just, oh, hey, see that village? See that town? Make it not there.
I don't.
Blow it up.
I'm gonna be honest
burn
with
it
you. I
down.
don't see Sherman being that controversial.
Well, most of the South regards him as a war criminal butcher. And even some of the North kind of regard his tactics as a bit questionable at times.
Well, when Daddy Ulysses is like, do a thing, and you're like, all right.
Well, I mean, considering the fact that Sherman and Ulysses were literally best friends, Ulysses was like, yo, Sherman, could you do a thing? Could you just literally just burn a path from Atlanta to the coast? And Sherman's like, yo, where my torches at?
He started farther back than Georgia. He started way farther inland.
Agreed. It's just Atlanta was kind of one of his more known sites of what he did.
So the doctrine he practiced there is called total warfare,
Mhm.
where you involve every aspect of the enemy. So, families, women, children. You raid and pillage, basically, all of their stuff. And
It worked.
outside of basically finding every railroad that they had, which is few and far between in the South, and superheating all of the rails and then bending them around trees, which is hilarious.
Or walking through their munitions
That was
factories,
probably
just
the most
destroying
effective,
them.
disruptive force that ever affected the South.
Yeah, hands down. And I am by no means a Civil War historian. World War II is much more my forte. But I do know enough about Sherman to know that I really like him.
Oh, well, now that we're on the subject
Comment
of the Civil
section.
War real quick. McConnell, I believe was his name, McConnell, was a stupid general.
Was he Union or
He was,
Confederate?
Kenny, the comment section says,
He was
I don't
Union.
know if it was Putin's idea, but Russians' heavy artillery tactics are interesting currently. Although it's almost comedically bad in utilization.
well, when you look at Russian morale right now, anything's comedically bad when you don't want to be there. Basically, every person in the Russian military is got the mentality of good enough for government work. Like, if you could put that phrase into a person,
That's the
that
Russian
is
conscript
that
soldier.
is the Russian conscripts. But
Did you hear-
McConnell, and I might be way off on this guy's name. I just think it's McConnell. He was the guy that took over for the
For a
Union
second.
as the lead general
Before Grant?
before
Okay.
Grant. And he was, at first he was super cautious, and he didn't want to do anything. And that really angered Lincoln, because he had a war to win.
Yeah, when your
And
general don't do nothing, that's
One
a
of the
problem.
things that was coming up is, oh, hey, I have to run for presidency again. My term's up. McConnell's not doing anything.
The first
He
time you said
fires
McConnell.
McConnell.
Yo.
Put somebody else in there.
The first time
Mu-
you said McConnell, I thought you said O'Connell, and all I could think was O'Connell was only like promoted to general in Hamanatra. Hamanatra.
Listen,
Ha-
okay,
I can't
O'Connell
even say it.
never fought in World War II, okay? Now, he fought the Mummy.
This is true.
Anyways,
Back to actual history.
he decides that was not good.
No.
And he runs against Lincoln for president.
This guy.
Gets destroyed at the polls.
I bet he would.
For whatever reason, he thought that was a great idea. Now, I understand if you feel the sanctity of human life and you don't want to send troops out to war, so be it. But being a general,
You
is
kind
not
of
for
gotta. You kind of gotta be able to make those choices, my
you.
guy.
Crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
If you're wearing the star, bud, you kind of gotta
The
do
South
a
back in
thing.
line.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump.
And it was real big bummer. Real big bummer sauce
Real big bummer sauce. I love it.
that we lost Lee.
Yeah,
To
because
the
Lee
South.
Lee was a genius.
Lee was a boss. Lee was a boss. The South also had
Stop. We lost noise.
We lost noise. What'd you do?
I don't know.
How did you do that?
Oh, no, we didn't lose noise. Sorry. Continue on. My bad. My mistake.
South also had.
Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah. Although I feel
And
like
the
he's a
only
little
reason-
overhyped.
Fair enough. I'll give you that one.
He is in the South. He's almost treated as like a saint-like figure. And I will admit he did some good. He was a very skilled tactician, but I think he's a little overhyped.
I can see that him being overhyped, but it was very fortuitous
Mhm.
for the Union that he got killed by his own guys,
Yeah.
because that was
Yeah.
a huge blow, and ultimately Lee is what was holding ground for the
Uh-huh.
South, and it was his surrender that
Pretty much ended it.
basically ended the whole Civil War.
Yeah.
But Stonewall Jackson was really good, and had he not fallen
Mhm.
to his own guys, we would have been struggling far longer than anything else. And ultimately, the war would have come down to logistics, and our engine would have outlasted theirs.
Yeah.
But we were not winning in manpower or on the front lines of any war.
No.
It was rough for the Union. We also, like I said, even before we got McConnell up in there, we were rotating through a lot of lead generals because we just
Yeah.
weren't finding the guy.
Yeah, we weren't finding one that clicked until
You know-
Grant.
And like I said, Lee, it sucked that we lost Lee to the South because he was Lincoln's first choice.
Mm-hmm.
But he decided to side with the state, which was Virginia, who was a southern state during the Civil War.
Yeah.
So he basically carried
Mm-hmm.
much of the war front, and he did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
He did a phenomenal job. I don't remember who it was. The name escapes me, but I believe it was a Union general. I could be wrong. It might have been Confederate, but I believe it was Union.
Okay.
We had someone. It was a Confederate general. He was sitting out, kind of like he was in a field, but he had such a large force that he could sit in a field because he wasn't worried about, say, like artillery fire or what Union might have had at the time, just because of an intimidating presence that he had. He knew that he had a large force, and weird microphones getting weird booty powers all of a sudden.
Just roll with it, man. Keep going.
And
What a little bit of a
but
snappy hand
next
gesture
to his
there.
clearing was a forest, right? And there was the tree line. There was a little indent into the forest, so if someone were to run across the tree line, they would show up in the clearing for a second and then disappear back into the forest.
Yeah.
Well, what this Union general did to psych this guy out, because he thought he had the numbers game, and he was so confident, he sat out in the middle of a field. He was defenseless in terms of any sort of natural structure or IV line, so to speak.
I have never heard this before, but I am absolutely hooked. Please keep going.
What this general did is he marched his troops through that clearing and back out of the clearing, but he did it from the clearing. All you saw was troops coming out of the forest, through the clearing, and then back into the forest at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, my enemy is amassing over there," but the line kept going and going, and that's at one point this guy's like, "Oh my lord, this." I don't know what this is. This is no longer militia. Is the entire Union army at my doorstep? What's happening? But what this general had done is he had looped his troops. and they were
That
walking
is
in a
genius.
circle. They were walking in a circle, and so he's just seeing. He doesn't know it, but he's seeing the same guys
ending.
over and over and over again, walking in a loop through this
That is
clearing. And he
amazing.
just thought, "Oh my lord, this is such a massive army right here," and he fled the clearing because he thought he was outnumbered.
That is amazing. Literally just trolling him like that. That is beautiful.
I'm not doing any justice for the names of that situation, but
No, but
that was during the Civil War, and it was brilliant.
okay. I'm gonna jump ahead a bit. Have you ever heard of the USS Barb?
No, I can't say I have.
You want to hear a story about a submarine that sank a train?
Oh, wait, I might be familiar
I
with
think
this.
I've heard about
I
this.
think I've, yeah.
All right, kids. Story time. World War II.
World War II.
Around that time, United States sub-commanders were only allowed 3 war tours. Because it was thought that after 3, they would become... 4. Only were allowed 4 war tours. Because it was feared that after that, the commanders would become too reckless or too conservative. Enter in the maddest mad lad I can think of. Eugene Lucky Flucky. On his final war tour, this man sneaks into a Japanese harbor and sets a record, still unbeaten today, for the most enemy tonnage. Not even enemy craft. They just started measuring it by the ton sunk in a single engagement. He sneaks in through their minefield, sinks just about everything, and sneaks back out. For this, he is awarded the Medal of Honor. And also, he becomes personal friends with Eisenhower. So, at this point... Oh yeah, also friends with Truman.
Are you microwaving your disgustingness? You're disgusting.
He requests a 5th war tour.
I'm sorry, he ordered this like seafood thing from Mazalon's last night with squid and cactus and all this junk, and it doesn't even look appetizing. And I don't like seafood, so
Well, first of all, shame on you for not liking seafood.
it makes
But
me
also,
sick.
that's hilarious.
Anyways,
Oh, my phone says it's bedtime. Sorry.
Tonight's
No,
podcast,
no.
we're going to be reading bedtime
no,
stories.
don't take the... No, let me finish this. This is awesome. Don't take this away from me. I will spill your beer.
At least do not do it on
I will
the...
throw your beer down the drain.
At least don't do it on the laptop, because we kind of need that.
No, I will throw your...
This thing off.
I will throw your beer down the drain. Anyways,
That's okay. It's disgusting beer anyway. I'm sorry.
Tony, you were saying.
I swear to high heavens,
It's too easy.
I hate you all so much.
You were saying,
Only
Ian.
one
How
comment.
how fitting would it be if we derailed his story on a show called Off the Rails, and his story's about a train?
It's about a submarine that sank a train.
Oh, so it derails itself.
I swear to God, Tony.
He had some genuinely good demo guys on that sub.
Oh yeah, no. So okay, so
He did. Listen to the story.
He asked.
No, I've heard this story before.
He asked for a 5th war tour. They're like, yeah, dude, you go for it. And he's like, okay, get this. I want rocket launchers on the top of my sub. And they're like, okay. So, now that he has the ability to attack ground targets as well as naval targets, he is just running a gigantic harassment campaign along the coast of Japan, just blowing up everything in sight. This guy is a menace. Well, while he's just making their lives a living hell, he notices a train. And he notices it goes past almost daily, and he's like, I want to blow up that train. So he takes the ship's scuttling charge. I don't remember how many pounds, but I think it was like 55 pounds of TNT. Like an obscene amount of TNT. And he says, all right, I'm going to go ashore and set it up. And his first mate is like, no, you are not. You are a Medal of Honor recipient and friends with the president. I will call Eisenhower and tell him you are trying to do this. Because Eugene would never ask his men to do something that he wouldn't do himself. So, he says fine, relents, and sends 4 dudes from a ship on shore. Great thing about this is that these 4 dudes are the actual only 4 soldiers to invade mainland Japan during active World War II. So these 4 dudes,
Stop twitching, I'm sorry.
someone on the ship rigs up a pressure switch for this explosives to detonate it. 4 dudes row onto Japan, middle of the night, set it up beneath the train tracks, and get back to the sub and watch. Train hits this explosive and is recorded to go 200 feet in the air. Let's just take a second and just... The first time a train flew.
That's really funny.
And then...
Today's weather forecast, we got low-flying trains.
Honestly. And I think the coolest thing about this all is during Eugene's all 5 of his war tours, not a single one of his men were hurt or killed enough to merit citation or notification. That's pretty impressive. 5 war tours, not a single casualty.
To be fair, and I'm not trying to
So,
go ahead.
undermine anything that he's done, but to be fair, we had such an outrageously powerful navy.
right.
I'm not necessarily in terms of like boats, but in terms of submarines against Japan. We outclassed their technology, especially sonar, by leaps and bounds.
I mean, the only thing we had crappy was torpedoes. Our torpedoes sucked.
Yeah, but we at least knew how to handle them. And
Oh, yeah.
we didn't store all our munitions below deck like an idiot.
Oh yeah, one thing that Eugene's crew was notorious for doing by his orders was doing underwater munitions tampering to make sure their stuff hit better. So they would equip them with hair triggers. So underwater, his boys were ripping apart torpedoes, making them easier to blow up and putting them back. And I'm just like, holy crap. That is outrageous to me. Underwater munitions tampering. I
I'm
love it.
sure at every point in war, someone's looked at their weapon and thought, nope.
100%.
And then somehow, some way, salvaged it to make it more effective for them in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't an entirely bad thing, really, honestly, it's not.
No.
But you never know when too far is too far. When you're one screw away from, like, firing a weapon and all of a sudden it falls apart.
Right.
Cartoonish style.
Right. But no, I just think it's hilarious that in a pressurized metal tube, his boys are doing munitions tampering underwater. That just blows my mind. No, but no, I love that story. Absolute, just a bad dude.
So, here's dun 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 geopolitics.
Thanks.
No.
This one's going to be a little bit more historical.
Nice.
Why
going, Ian.
do we still have modern day pirates?
Because people are too lazy to get jobs and want whatever they want.
If you're too lazy to get a job, but you have the ambition to be a pirate, I don't think laziness is the issue.
Well, I guess that's
Well,
true.
because there's still several very lawless countries in the world. Like, for example, I think one of the biggest players in the modern pirate game, Somalia. Somalian pirates.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I always thought it was just because a pirate's life is for them.
This is why you're on the show.
I hate you.
This is why we're friends.
Yo,
I
how
tolerate your existence.
yo, pirates, life for
No.
me.
I mean, look at Somalia. Somalia is a third world cesspool, dude.
You know, it wasn't always
David
like that.
says it's
Unfortunately
because
so.
Pirates of the Caribbean was a good movie.
I mean, bro, yes.
I don't know if those people have even seen
I
the movie.
don't think they. I don't
know
I,
that.
I don't think Somalia's got.
You know
Disney
what? You're
Plus,
right.
bro.
I can't possibly know that, but I think not.
I have a hunch that Somalia don't have Disney Plus on
I
tap.
wonder
Because
if
they did face a goddess.
I'd be willing, and I don't really have any ground to stand on when I say this, but I'd be willing to put forth that 50% of Somalian pirates can't spell their own name on a piece of paper.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, and then you look at like the Philippines and the Filipino pirates. Same thing. A lot of just underdeveloped country. No, very lawless, especially in some of those smaller islands where there was like older like military bases from other countries that were abandoned. It just it's a lot of people who want money and food and don't have a lot of time or proper infrastructure to like actually work proper careers, and so they turn to piracy and crime.
I agree with this statement.
I'll let you read it, Ian.
I bet they have projectors on those ships just for those movies.
They binge watch those stupid
Mama.
ideas.
Get over down here. There's movie night.
Look at me. Look at me. I am Jack Sparrow now.
Jack Sparrow calling Barbossa. Jack Sparrow calling Barbossa. Do you see the ship?
I am the Jack now.
I am the Jack.
I am the Jack now.
I am the Jack
I am
now.
thy sparrow.
Umbaku. Literally Somalian talking.
If you say one more word, we will eat you. I'm only kidding. We are vegetarians.
Yeah, good one.
So Somalia
I think we
was
did.
not always a cesspool, as you put it.
It,
third world
tell me
country.
I'm wrong.
So, once upon a time,
Before Operation Gothic Serpent.
roughly 50-ish years ago, Somalia was, as most African countries do, experiencing a drought. So a lot of their inland hosts were moved to the coast because not only was farming bad, but the only other type of economic jobs that they had was fishing, coastal work, like on the docks. Now, like any good villain origin story, our innocent little
Thanks, Lauren.
country was assaulted
Yeah.
by other countries,
Awesome.
to include,
Shank your
but
mummy.
not limited by, Egypt, Greece, South Korea, and even Taiwan. What they were doing is they were doing things like trough fishing, which is where you rake the bottom of the seafloor and destroy habitats. They were also blast fishing, which is a big no-no. That will destroy more than just the habitat. They were also catching fish for volume and not for target. And this was all done within the exclusive, I believe it's called the Exclusive Economic Zone, the EEZ, of Somalia. So there's a certain degree of ocean that is afforded each country off of its coast, should it have any coast.
Yeah.
A lot of this was done within the Exclusive Economic Zone of Somalia. Now, when you take a bunch of desperate people who have moved to the coast because it's the only thing they have left,
And then you take that away.
and you literally do something called blast fishing, and you're not of their country, and it's in their front yard, they're going to respond in the most violent fashion
Agreed.
they can muster.
Agreed.
This, at the same time, the Civil War happened in Somalia.
Yeah, and then you look at dudes like Muhammad Farah Adid, which is just that dude was a butcher, and not a good one.
And no one really won. That is
Certainly
why
not us.
it's anarchy in Somalia.
Oh.
There is no standing government.
Government
It
whoever
is
has the most
just
guns.
a bunch of guerrilla groups waging war against anyone who sails from the coast, or I should say the Horn of Africa, up to the Strait of Gibraltar and the Bay of New Guinea, or whatever that's called. I might
Yeah.
be really wrong about that last one.
I know what you're talking about geography-wise.
So they will just hunt ships and use them for score.
Did you see the video when a dinghy of Somali pirates rolled up on a Novids Navy ship, U.S. Navy ship?
No, I have not seen the video.
Oh, dude, it is hilarious.
the sailors are recording. The Navy sailors are recording. You got a bunch of dudes kitted up, multicam. Like, I'm pretty sure these dudes are operators of a variety, just tagging a ride, and they are smiling. The sailors, the Americans, are smiling because they see the ladder come up, and they're all kind of like tucked back, and they're like, okay. And you got one guy who's crouched right next to the ladder, and you see a pirate come up, and this guy grabs him, yanks him over the top, throws his AK, and immediately cuffs him, rolls him to the side, and they do that for every single one of them. These 5 Somali dudes trying to get on the ship, thinking they just lucked out in some American ship, and literally 2 minutes later, they're all kneeled against the wall with M4s pointing their heads, and I'm like, oh gee, how'd that work for you guys? It is hilarious.
Hey, you guys. I'm gonna change the subject here.
Dun
Doing a
dun
hard change.
dun.
So, you guys know what movie I'm really looking forward to right now?
John Wick 4?
Yes, actually.
Good.
After all the crap you gave John Wick for, or just John Wick in general.
So I heard, I was listening to some podcasts earlier today, and I heard a few things about it. And, like, literally, the way it was described was you could cut out 2 and 3 and just watch 1 and 4, and it wouldn't seem like a different movie. It wouldn't seem like you missed anything at all.
I mean,
They went right back to just the bare bones on basically what it is that the two of you guys like. They trimmed up they trimmed the fat out of the story. They quit getting so wild with the lore of it and focused on the action scenes.
Honestly, some of the wild.
I'm pretty sure that's what 3 was all about too. Although,
No, they got wild in
'Cause-
the lore.
yeah, they got wild with the lore in 3, but there was more action in 3 than any of the other prior 2.
Well,
dude,
that
three was
the
so-
action is ramped up in each movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's progressively gotten, but they've also like really went hard in the lore.
So, Kenny, as a fellow John Wick fan,
Mm-hmm.
what is your favorite Wick gun?
The one that goes pew.
I will hit you.
The one that goes pew pew? No.
Because I have my favorite. I'm curious what yours is.
The one that goes Burt.
The one that goes burp?
What did Alan Rickman say in Prince of Thieves? I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon.
Oh, before we continue on, I saw this on a TikTok, now I want to do it. Taylor,
Oh dear.
I need you to make a machine gun sound.
Why?
I need to hear you make a machine gun sound.
Oh, I know exactly what he's doing. Make a machine gun sound, Taylor.
Make
I don't know
a,
what to
make
do.
a machine
Make
gun
a machine gun
Make a
sound.
machine gun sound, Taylor.
I didn't
Do
even know
it.
how to do that.
Do it.
Do it.
No.
Make a machine gun sound.
You do it, Tony.
I wasn't asked.
No. We can still revoke it, Taylor. 120's not up yet. Let's hear it.
I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. Hold on. I have no teeth, which makes this kind of hard.
Oh, that's right. She does have a bit of a handicap.
Like that's any different from
The
the rest
reason
of her
I
life.
ask is because I saw this TikTok where this guy claimed that no matter what woman you ask, they can't make a machine gun sound.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Do it.
Was
He's a
that
do- do-
machine
do- do-
gun
do- do.
dyslexic? What happened there?
I think that machine gun had Down syndrome. Sir.
Don't make me cry.
David says, I think Kenny's confusing John Wick with Police Academy.
Police Academy?
Oh, have you ever seen
yeah,
those movies?
How am I confusing John Wick with Police Academy? What did I
Because the
say
one-
that like
because the
bridge
one
that gap?
guy.
Oh, because
does
there's a dude in the
sound
first movie who can.
effects.
His whole thing is like sound effects. At one point, a police.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I jumped subjects entirely for a second there. I do like that guy.
That-
He was
that-
also in Spaceballs.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be my sound, but
Lots of
would be
beeps,
his
sweeps, and the
little
creeps.
p'too, 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 p'too.
Pew, pew. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, Ian. Let's hear yours.
It's been so long since.
Yeah, see, it's hard, isn't it?
Shut up, Toothless.
I'm gonna just eat my cat.
That's not founded, but unnecessary. Come on, we can't give her that much crap and take this long to make a machine gun sound. Okay, decent, fair. Tony.
Oh, I got to do it now.
Haha.
Let me get that shot.
Exactly. That's what I had chili in my teeth, so I'm trying to be sure I'm not clinking all over our microphone. That's it. They're sucking the chili out of my teeth. Just...
Beep beep.
Pew pew.
Oh.
And you thought mine was bad.
Pew pew pew.
I can't say what his is on the podcast.
Wow,
but yours is
he's staring me down. He doesn't accept this as an answer.
Go on, Tony. I did it. Are
Okay.
we beatboxing? Are we gonna start rapping now?
I don't know, Mister.
I accepted his. Actually, his sounds like a lot like mine.
I didn't hear yours.
I haven't done mine
Have you
yet.
done it yet?
Okay.
So, one of the things
You
I like
can't
to...
just have us all do it and you
No,
not.
I'm about to. Don't worry. I'm getting right there.
I'm also rusty. I haven't done mine.
But I gotta give some context about the couple of different things that I've done in the attempt to make machine gun sounds.
I broke it.
Once upon a time, I used to say skadoosh, like with reference to like firing a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But this was before Kung Fu Panda, so skadoosh was just the
thing.
Yeah. My dad apparently had never heard the word skadoosh. That man is nearing 60 years of age. Never heard the word skadoosh. What he thought he heard me saying in the backyard was douche, 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 douche.
That is what one of my younger cousins did for the longest time when he was playing with gun. I was like, buddy, you need to not do that.
And he thought, why are you so mad? Also,
Point at gun. You douche, you douche, you douche.
and he's like, I can't have you outside
Shouting douche at people.
shouting douche.
Certainly conveys the effectiveness of the word. Could you imagine someone pulling a gun and shooting you, and every time they shoot you, go, douche, douche, douche? It's like, wow, not only insult, but insult to injury here. Like, you are literally roasting them as you shoot them into the ground. That's great.
Yes, yes. Well, without further delay, something to the effect of like. Have you ever
I
heard?
like it.
Have you
I
ever
knew
heard?
exactly the spin up. I
Yep.
hear ya. The tism is strong with me.
We have Apache helicopters with miniguns, Vulcan miniguns,
Dude,
off the front of them that fire so fast that in the dark of night they look like flashlights because the muzzle flash off of these miniguns is so consistent and rapid. It looks like they're just pointing a searchlight at the enemy and they die.
it's so beautiful. However, I will counter you, minigun. Have you seen what they do with the 20 mil chain guns? Have you seen what one of those do to a car?
Well, I have a pretty good idea
Oh.
actually.
Dude, a 20 mil. It's just like there's a car, and now there's not. It's not even like it's just a bunch of holes. No, it like shreds it to pieces. It
Yeah.
rips it asunder. I love miniguns. Miniguns are my favorite things on the planet.
They,
but a 20 mil chain gun is ridiculous.
If you want to understand why the U.S. defense budget is where it is right now, it's because of chain guns like these that can fire for maybe 8 seconds, but spend more than I could in 12 lifetimes of money.
Or, just Lockheed Martin existing.
Matter of fact, the existence of the A-10 Warthog will spend
My automotive spirit animal.
automotive
The plane built around a gun, firing literal explosive Red Bull cans. I love the A-10 Warthog and the GAU-8 Avengers so much.
the massive gun on that. Not the missiles, not the rockets, the gun on that thing.
If it can actually be fired for so long, it will cause the plane to stall out.
I think you guys are getting confused. The Warthog was a car.
No.
Yeah, Master
Shut your
Chief's
face
chosen
hole.
vehicle.
It wasn't called a Warthog.
What's that?
It was a Warthog. You forgot
Yeah.
the T.
You kind of said Warhog. You didn't say.
Do you say
Warthog.
Tupperware or Tupperware?
Look at him, Tupper.
You tubby.
Yeah,
You're a tubby
the,
boy.
the Warhog was Master Chief's favorite vehicle. It's a car.
The A10 Warthog would shred the Halo Warthog.
Say
like
wart.
Nothing.
Wart.
Say hog.
Hog.
Say warthog.
Warhog.
Why are you the way you are?
Say cool. Cool. Say whip. Whip. Cool whip.
Oh no! I warned you about the chili. I warned you all.
For the record, I haven't done that yet. Just him. But no.
Yes, chain guns are a wet dream.
Or just, I love the fact that it's General Dynamics, or not General Dynamics, General Electric, who makes,
Built it, yeah.
yeah, the washing machine company makes one of the most prolific and deadly weapons ever invented.
Even chain guns small enough to be handheld, which is still a feat in and of itself, but ones that are that small have the ability to cut down force.
Oh,
No,
100%.
David, you got it wrong. The Chupacabra is a small bobble-headed dog.
So, what is your favorite?
I love the vibe you're giving off right now,
Mhm.
and I want to continue it, but I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Kenny, what is your favorite military aircraft?
Not that.
Or that?
Or that.
Because, I mean, I think the easy answer is to say the A10.
Oh,
Holding?
I got to think about this. I got...
Because there's a lot of good ones.
You know, the easy answer
Mhm.
is the F-18.
Yeah, that one's the easy answer, and it's a good answer. There's nothing wrong with
No,
saying F-18
David,
is your favorite.
Cuba Libre was a movie starring Jack Black. He was like a Mexican wrestler.
That's Nacho Libre, you
Yeah,
moron.
that's Nacho Libre.
I'm in a very vindictive mood tonight. I don't know why.
You guys,
I'm sorry.
if anything, you need to keep the joke running. That's the point of the joke.
That I know what Nacho Libre was.
The point of the joke is to keep saying, no, it's not that, it's this.
Oh,
Purposely getting it wrong and keeping the chain going.
just like Tony's not fat, he's skinny.
He's not.
No, it's
that's
just-
just throwing
Ouch!
You've
insults.
totally
What
missed
is
the
wrong
point of
with
the
you,
joke.
dude?
I'm killing the joke. That's what makes it funny.
No.
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 No. No. Sorry.
I like, you know what? Actually, it's just an awesome wonder to behold.
What?
The B-52 Flying Fortress.
Oh, the buff.
When I first saw that as a kid, I thought there's no way we'll ever lose a war again. Now, obviously, as a kid, I didn't know like what the idea is, and nowadays it's like, oh, whatever. But seeing it in its heyday is like, oh,
I mean, it still is around, bro. It's not slated to be taken out of service till 2050. They're still using the B-52, man.
for what reason I don't know.
Because we don't want
Did you ever
mountains.
play Turok?
Nope.
Because if we see a mountain and we don't want it to exist, we send the buff.
Taylor, did you ever play Turok?
The thing about setting something
don't
out
think
that's
so.
so hugely expensive, hard to move, and is an easy target for other people, there's a reason it's going out of business.
Agreed. But like,
No.
There's a reason why aircraft carriers are escorted by a fleet of destroyers.
agreed.
Because if you have something that logistically important, so expensive, and it can't defend itself that well, it's not worth it.
I guarantee that every time a buff goes out, it's escorted by a couple F-18s at least. However, I want to draw your attention to the F-15, the most gangster fighter jet I have ever heard of.
The F-15?
The F-15, the Eagle. This thing generates so much power with its engines, it does not need to generate lift.
It can simply fly by generating thrust. You don't need wings to fly one.
Shut up!
As a matter of fact, an F-15 had a mid-air collision and lost one of its wings and was able to land with zero issue. The F-15, as soon as it takes off, goes vertical and breaks the sound barrier like a rocket. Not to mention, it has 104 confirmed kills and not a single one has ever been shot down. It scored an air-to-air kill with an unguided bomb. Not an air-to-air missile. It flew low enough that it dropped a GBU and hit a moving hind. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? That it scored an air-to-air kill with unguided munitions.
That sounds more like a feat of the pilot than the plane.
But it's the F-15 that did it.
It's the pilot that did it in an F-15.
I have to admit, I like the specs of the F-15, and obviously the chassis itself, and what's basically the legacy of the F-Series.
Oh, yeah.
But my heart will always be with the F-16.
I mean, yeah.
The
F-16 is
F-16 to
legendary.
me is like the
I mean, we all saw Top Gun.
F-16
I mean,
is like the Halo 3.
They got nothing on the F-20, so.
Go to your room.
You're dismissed.
Okay, go to your room right now.
Okay, now, Kenny. F-22 or F-23?
Sorry, I don't know why.
No, don't. Don't give up hope, man. We're in the promised land. We were talking about the Raptor and the Thunderbolt 2.
Speaking of Raptors, you know that there's a movie coming out? It's out today. It's called 65. Have you heard of it?
No.
So, it's an Adam Driver movie. New one that just came out.
Oh, I do want to see
The
that.
dinosaur one.
Oh,
We're
I thought you were pulling my leg for a second.
no, Ian and I are going to go watch it tomorrow.
Oh, I want to go.
Well, then come
We'll
with.
talk to that guy.
I'm organizing the Bruja.
You want to pay for me?
After how many times you paid for me, I'll pay for you.
You're not paying for me, but I just thought I'd
No,
throw
I
it
will.
out there just because I wanted to.
It's kind of it's kind
yeah,
of a
that's
tradition.
right, David. David's got a point. The F-30, top series.
David, I love you like a brother.
But I'm about to treat you like Cain and Abel here, bud.
I'm going to steal every single patch rank you have, even if it's sewed on.
I'm going to steal every left shoe in your house and leave all your doors open.
I wasn't going to go that far, but
I'm going to rearrange your silverware drawer.
I'm gonna remove just one of every battery out of all of your electronic devices.
I'm going to rewire your house so that every switch does the most weird and inane thing.
I'm gonna steal that plate out of your microwave and nothing else.
I'm going to install a staircase in your house.
No. You
Even
gotta
though it's
take
only
the
one
ring,
story.
not the plate. You gotta take the ring.
Just open up a room, just staircase.
That's the Winchester house.
Yeah, heard of
What a
that.
spooky place.
Okay, but
I'm gonna
honestly, I would
remove
totally
all of-
love to go in there.
But it wasn't designed that way. It turned
Yes,
that way,
no,
but it wasn't
it was.
designed that way.
That house
at
never
first.
quilt building.
Yeah, but the stairs originally went somewhere, and then they were blocked off later on. It wasn't designed to be that way.
I mean, technically, she kept building and then intentionally closed up all the rooms and then just kept building more rooms. To close
Yeah,
them
but they
off.
originally went places. I'm talking about I'm going to build a staircase with the original intention of going nowhere.
So this is like an actual house.
I know. Yeah.
No. I'm asking.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
this is.
Okay, because I totally thought you guys were talking about Supernatural, and I was
never
like, I've never
seen
seen that
Winchester?
So
episode.
the guy that developed the Winchester rifle, he obviously he's passed away since then. His wife, who survived his death, bought a piece of land, got a really decent sized house. However, she was approached by a soothsayer, and the soothsayer told her, "Hey, you're gonna have to deal with the deaths of every person that's died from a Winchester rifle. That's on your shoulders."
Mhm.
That drove That drove her mad.
And
So
she
started
literally would.
expanding her house to make rooms for every person that's ever died.
And every
and-
time the room was completed, they would seal it off.
Well,
Someone's first
Gunfire.
attempt at of
the
obscene
most
gun
time.
control tactics.
but what would happen is she'd build a house, expand it, and it would look fine. And then she expanded again, and things got weird from there. And that's why you started getting staircases that go to nowhere.
All these ghosts literally
Rooms
moved into
that
her
are
house.
sealed away. Some of them. There was a room she called the flower room because there was flower wallpaper on it. That's when an earthquake happened. This is in California.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the earthquake happened, but she thought it was a paranormal event, so she had that room sealed. She thought
So
she
almost-
was being attacked.
Almost like every room that happened, something dramatic happened to her, and she immediately sealed those
So there's hallways that lead to nothing, staircases that just go up into a ceiling. No
doors that
sec-
just open to another wall.
Yep. It's a real house you can go visit in California.
Yeah.
I want absolutely nothing to do with it.
I
but yeah.
want to go so
No.
bad.
No.
I don't think it's like Ouija board
I-
level of
I
note,
wouldn't-
but
I wouldn't mind going and checking that place out.
of course you would. It's the only place that can fit all your kids.
I said I wouldn't mind, and you said that I would mind. No, I wouldn't mind. I'd like to go.
I think you meant like, of course
And I
you
said,
would
of
like to
course
go.
you would.
Oh, like to go. No, I don't want to bring my kids there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I want to
Why
go on an
not?
adventure.
And of course, Gavin would find the one guy that would be malicious.
The ghost that just keeps appearing.
And annoy him out.
Hey,
We need to
you
start
have
we
a
need to
house,
st-
man.
Oh, here's what we need to do. New business idea. Use Gavin as an exorcist.
Yes.
And just send Gavin into the house. The
I need a
demon's like,
Zen
"Hey, worth
priest and a Gavin.
it." I need a
I need
a-
a priest and a Gavin.
priest and a Gavin.
John Constantine wouldn't be casting no spells. He'd be bringing in my boy.
Send the kid.
I can just imagine like an exorcist going on, like a serious exorcism, and Gab just goes in there and just starts talking. And all I hear is, "Oh my God, please shut him up."
It's like from The Exorcist where the head does the 360 spin and Gavin's like, "You're gross."
Could you stop that? Ew.
I don't like that.
Just get down Gavin's island. Just, Gavin, they have candy and they're not going to
No,
share with you.
no,
Oh, that's better?
they have screens.
Gavin, she has a tablet and she's not going to give it to you.
Gavin, that ghost right there is going to get you your balloon today.
Oh,
Yes.
oh. Why do
I
I?
don't think
I
we're
picture
able to
Gavin
enjoy
look at
this
this thing
topic.
the same thing a Velociraptor looked at someone in the Jurassic Park series. Just the ghost is like, yeah, no, I'm done.
Sicking Gavin on that house would be like sicking the Hulk on the Chitauri.
We need to get Gavin some football pads and send him to the Winchester house in California.
No, I don't. He doesn't even need the football pads. He just needs to go walk in himself.
I should probably clarify because my wife is most likely watching this. I love my son. I really do.
We just
And I enjoy watching him, Christina. I promise.
We just realized his potential.
We just realized we could profit from this.
child labor, child schmaber.
And it's about time after how much money I spent on that kid.
You know, buying him and all.
Child that's right. He wasn't cheap. I bought that kid. It's the only one I actually paid for.
No.
I have the receipts.
No. Let's be clear. You paid for every single one.
I'm still paying for every single one.
This boy looks at the receipt daily and goes, "If only there was a return policy. If only there was a return policy." What's that? I said you look at that receipt daily and just wish for a return
I have to
policy.
admit, every time I see your
No
oldest daughter,
comment.
she looks more and more like her mother.
I know.
Yeah.
Like no matter how hard I smack her, I just can't stop
Oh.
that.
Oh my-
I'm joking. I don't hit my
Oh.
kids.
Uh-oh.
that took a,
Uh-oh.
that joke took a bad turn.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
This could be submitted for evidence.
Cue the "this sounded much better outside of a courtroom." I've seen a couple of memes where it's like, "This looked much better. This is much funnier" as a meme.
We are very cavalier with jokes that are
Not PC.
pretty spicy, especially considering where one of our friends is right now.
Yeah.
That soured the
David,
mood.
delete it.
How is he gonna do like Hackerman?
He went and clipped.
I didn't say anything I can't recover from. I don't care. Send it, bud.
Oh, that's a really long and.
David over here just submitting all the evidence.
Joke's on you. I need to kick my roommate out and do most of that anyway. LOL. Man, with how long you were gone, I wonder what they did to your place.
Yeah, that would be a little. I would not be happy coming home.
He was gone for a long time. He must have had a really trusting client, I guess.
Yeah.
So that was the origin of the Somali pirates.
Wow, we got off topic on that one, didn't we?
That was a ride.
Off the rails. Literally.
We somehow fell up.
So good.
That's how off the rails we went.
Dude, we fell up like Joe Biden trying to get into a plane.
Oh.
All right.
What's sad is the table is about the mental acuity of Joe Biden, too.
Not all stairs are created equal. He can disembark from a plane like he does a bike.
Okay, I don't need Secret Service coming and banging on my door.
Taylor, you've hung out with me enough. You're on lists already.
I'm sure the Secret Service has got a sense of humor.
Of course they do. They have to work with Joe Biden.
Well, I mean, they've worked with quite a few interesting people.
Am
so-
I really killing Joe Biden with his jokes? Are they jumping in front of
God,
my
I
jokes?
You know, I actually do kind of feel for the Secret Service because them watching after Joe Biden is kind of like me parenting Gavin.
Have you seen the videos where they're trying to point him and he just doesn't go? Like they're like, all right, take a left,
They're
take a right,
they're
take a right, and
pointing
he
at
just
him where
walks
to go.
right past it.
Okay, go here, and he like waves at them and goes in the opposite direction.
I like how he left the concrete path and walked onto the grass and kept going around the White House.
Yeah.
I can see where the confusion came from.
We got a president that cares about his shrubbery, okay?
I see how that event
I
occurred.
think that's more him
I-
counting to make sure he's not entirely nuts.
What?
I think it's more him trying to count the bushes to have some standards in his life.
Well,
Those would be the first.
we all know how Joe Biden really makes his way around.
You know what I want to say
By
now?
smell.
Okay.
Please, may I sniff your kids,
Okay. There's that line. You went over it.
You didn't just go
What?
over it. There.
What? It is a proven fact Joe Biden sniffs kids.
Reminds
Have
me
you
of
not seen the
everything my
pictures
daughter
of this
to
dude
watch
getting all
Disney.
up and close? Just
Oh, look, a new subject. So I saw this meme, right?
yeah, of Joe Biden sniffing
And
kids.
no, it was a meme of, remember the convoy of Russian vehicles when they were going into Ukraine?
Yeah.
So it, like long, super long convoy. It's probably the longest convoy we've had in modern day warfare so far. And
I have something to pick it
this meme was, it showed the convoy, and then the next panel it showed an A-10 Warthog, and it said, breathe,
Yes!
heavy breathing.
Just let me in.
And then the third one was, I'd tap that.
Yeah, literally. Did you hear they're bringing back the battle trains? Russia's bringing back the dreadnought trains.
I don't see how that's going to really help them.
At this point, dude, they're pulling everything out of retirement.
Did you just say battle train?
How do you... Yes.
Have you never heard of the World War I dreadnought
Like choo
trains?
choo?
They were
Yes.
giant artillery batteries that moved on rail cars.
Oh, not just that. There was also armored
They
cars
were
with machine
big.
gun emplacements, anti-tank guns. It was just a train of death.
And
World
they
War
were
I.
the dumbest
I
idea.
have never wanted to be a train conductor more in my life than just
so
right now.
dumb.
And yet...
Unbelievably dumb.
And they
Oh, I'm
wanna
sorry, not
do
a train
this in
conductor,
world
a train
where
engineer.
A-10
I want to drive that
exists.
thing.
I would probably want to too.
They
But
would
if
have you
my
shoveling coal.
war machine
They would have
was
you
stuck
shoveling
on
coal.
rails that I couldn't fully control,
Yeah, no.
all that money,
Okay, you did
down
your
the
work
tube.
out.
That is
Why do you hate
that
me?
is one pressure switch and some explosives away from being
the only thing that made it a good
Because
idea
you're the only one here that I
was
can make
when they
fun of
put
without-
basically
potential death.
howitzers on it for
Without
long range
potential death?
engagements.
Yes.
Well,
That way you had an artillery platform that can move on rail cars That was a decent idea. I appreciated that.
That and when they rolled it by
That's right, I
like
can't kill
ongoing
you.
battlefields.
Was
with,
the
like,
only
machine
sitter
guns
that I have for
straight
Gavin.
The battlefield. It was pretty much just like a strafing run with machine guns
Yeah.
on a train.
But nowadays, we can just build tanks with howitzer cannons.
Train meet Abrams. It's a bad deal, dude.
But you can get into better, more advantageous positions if you just have a tank with a howitzer gun on it versus a train.
Yeah. I see your train.
Also, there's only so many places you can take that rail car because it can't fit in tunnels.
Agreed. What is that round again? The depleted uranium.
That's a super highly dense round.
I'm like, your train engine. Yeah. Send a uranium round through it. There is a name for the round though. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
You don't even have to hit the train. You just have to tracks.
I know.
That downs the whole thing.
I know.
Like, oh, hey, you have it at your rail station?
Any of
Hit the
you
tracks.
guys, this comes from the comment section, do any of you guys play XCOM?
I play a lot of XCOM.
Kenny over here.
And Kenny's been activated.
I play so much XCOM.
I've heard of it. Never really had the chance to play it.
I have never raged at a game so much as I've raged at
You're going to
XCOM.
vibrate my chair right out that door.
I did.
The chili spiders, the barking chili spiders. It's a new subspecies of barking spiders. It's the chili barking spiders. Okay, I have played a lot of XCOM, mostly XCOM 2. They've come out with a new game, not recently. It's called like Phoenix something or whatnot. It's supposed to be a more up-to-date version of the XCOM series.
Oh.
And I haven't played that. I think it's called Phoenix Point.
Is that
Or
on
something like that?
PlayStation only, or is it Xbox as well?
I could not tell you. the answer
Because
to that.
if it is like cross-play and Xbox, I would be happy to play that with you if I could like find it. I'd at least be willing to give it a try.
As far as I'm aware, I don't know about Phoenix Point, but XCOM is single player.
Darn.
Yes, it is a logistics-based, turn-by-turn warfare game.
David said that he's never felt forced to play on easy. That is the singular exception. XCOM is the only game that David will play on easy.
Wow.
Well, first of all, the game doesn't play fair. Like
The
at all.
game doesn't play fair. The game, the soulless program, cheats.
I love it.
It seems like it. If I watch another guy miss a 98% shot, the controller's going through the wall.
Bro, I understand. I've had the same problem. I played Risk. Tony can account to this. I have had 99% rating, and I have lost badly. Like, we're talking like 8 units to 1 unit, and I have lost.
This
It-
program reading check really took a
It gets
turn.
so
I
bad.
quit reading.
It's not as bad as like Mutant Year Zero, but XCOM is such a beautiful, well done game because it makes you think about just about everything.
Yeah.
I guess I'm actually kind of overhyping in terms of how much it really covers,
Mhm.
but it covers a lot of the logistics of actually waging warfare.
Ignore that.
Part of what makes it work, though, is that you have to understand you start as the underdog in the fight.
I'm glad you
So really, what
find
you're doing
joy
is
in the
a
fact
lot
that
of like
life falls
small
apart and you
skirmishes,
can't
like
win.
guerrilla warfares against a
Mhm.
much larger enemy.
I like it.
And just about every encounter you start with, for the most part, this isn't entirely true of every encounter, but for the most part, you start with concealment or what is called stealth.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to decide when the encounter begins, from what position of your choosing, and depending upon how well
I
you
can't
recon the
wait to be
area,
electrocuted.
you know who's there
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of units,
Mm-hmm.
what weapons they have, the kind of armor they have. You also have guys that, especially with the updates, like War of the Chosen, which is the best DLC they've ever come out with. You have to worry about things such as how tired your soldiers are, how many missions have you sent them on, are they wounded, do they have panic attacks, You can send them
That's
to the infirmary. Yeah,
insanely deep.
that's all the things you need to worry about for your troops. They can get promoted all the way up to colonel, starting from rookie all the way up to colonel. You have 4 main classes, which is ranger, specialist, grenadier, and sharpshooter.
Mhm.
Ranger is split into each one's split into 2 possible subsections. Rangers can go into blade masters,
Mhm.
Taylor,
or they can go into
go
scouts.
to the comment section
Okay.
for me.
Really, they're just the high mobility, close range guys because
Okay.
they either have swords or shotguns. Specialists
Baller.
are the tech guys.
Mhm.
They're either medics or they're hackers.
Okay.
Grenadier is either big chain gun or all about explosives.
As with Grenadier, I would expect.
Yep. And then sharpshooter is either gunslinger or sniper.
Beautiful.
With War of the Chosen, we gained a couple other classes. You have the skirmisher, which is a guy that walks around with a bullpup and a grappling hook.
Baller.
We have
Og or Tavor.
say what?
We're talking Og or Tavor.
Tavor. It's a condensed frame.
I'm not gonna lie. For a minute there, I thought you were both saying Talor.
I did
Condensed
too.
frame.
That's
I know,
why
I'm pretty
I-
sure my
I
exact
looked.
words were condensed,
frame.
frame.
Grappling hook and
Tavor.
Jew magic.
Okay.
I love it. Please continue.
We have one moment. We have Reapers, which are super stealth units.
I like it.
Actually, when they're stealth, they reduce the line of sight of other enemies around them, so they can get in places that most people can't. And they have marksman rifles. They don't have sniper rifles, but they have marksman rifles.
Like, are we looking like M14s or?
More like, kind of like. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. Honestly, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but kind of like the Dragunov.
I can see where you're. Okay, so
And
that platform-ish. Okay.
the last one is called the Templars, and they're all about making psionic blades, and they're my favorite class. They're primarily melee units
Mm-hmm.
that do a lot of melee damage with psychic blades that they generate. And the more kills you get, the more powerful their melee attacks are. And eventually you can do what's called a psychic storm, where they attack everyone within vicinity of them with a lightning bolt. And if you kill someone with a lightning bolt, you recharge their death streak. And you can do it over and over, and it is nasty business what you can do to them.
Are we still talking about XCOM?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I zoned out. I'm not gonna lie. Like I missed half of this conversation.
David, have you played War of the Chosen DLC? Do you have any of the DLCs for your XCOM? I'm specifically talking about XCOM 2.
Okay. I want them to make a game with the feel of Homefront, like an insurgency. You're a guerrilla fighting a superior force, but I want it with the gun customizing capability of Modern Warfare 2. And you can even customize like the bolt on your gun sometimes, and like whether you're
This is
overgassed.
the new Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
With you're rocking a lighter bolt that's overgassed, so your cyclic rate is higher, or a heavier bolt that is and like different barrel lengths and all. I want a game that can give me the gritty guerrilla feel with like the in-depth gunsmith. Because a lot of those games are like, oh, we're gonna have these improvised weapons, and it's like, yeah, okay, improvised weapons are cool, but like,
He answered Kenny.
we live in a modern day and age where there's so much customization to be done with regular conventional firearms. So that's what I want.
I couldn't tell you what Enemy Within was like. Yeah, that was the one prior to XCOM 2. As far as I'm aware, though, I have no idea what the multiplayer was like for Enemy Within. But multiplayer for XCOM 2 was basically a big old versus mode where you'd fight other people with their own soldiers. And you can customize your guys, too. You can make their own backstab. I don't know what it is. I think a picture of it on my phone. But I made joke backstories because I put my friends in my games.
Mhm.
So I have like RJ, I have Evan, I have Sarah, I have Ava, are my soldiers. And I gave them the funniest backstories. Like RJ was treated like an animal in a zoo on an Advent homeworld. And one day he's like, all right, I'm done. And he just left. And
He just
joined
noped out.
XCOM.
He just noped out and joined the army. He's like, nah, I'm done. Join the
Hold
army.
on a second. Let me see if I can find. I swear I took a picture of one of these. I find you.
So how do you guys feel about being electrocuted?
I mean, I've been tased, but I don't
What?
enjoy it.
I've got to go be electrocuted next Friday, and I wanted you guys' opinion of how you'd feel to be electrocuted.
Why?
To figure out why I have no feeling in my leg.
Because you're dead inside.
Thank you for pointing that out. We already knew that, though.
I mean, I got tased. It felt like the worst muscle cramp I ever had.
How do you guys feel about being shot?
What?
That's how I felt like that was just out of nowhere. Like, hey guys, I'm going to look at something funny on my phone. How do you feel about being electrocuted?
I mean, are we talking with or without plates here, Kenny? Because I'd rather not take a round without plates.
David says, eat a lot of salt. It conducts well. That's your tip for being electrocuted.
Thank you.
And then sweat. You have to sweat like a lot prior to being electrocuted.
I mean,
That way it travels across the surface of your skin.
They're putting needles in my back and all over my leg and electrocuting the hell out of me.
Make sure
You asked for this, okay? So that's where I'll leave it.
No, I didn't ask for
You
this medical
totally
test,
asked for this.
actually.
You went and sought help, and this is what you got.
You know what that reminds
And
me
you're
of?
going to it, okay? It's not like they're coming
I would like to know why I
with
don't
a gun
get
to your
walk
head and
like
saying,
a normal
"Get
person.
in."
You know what that reminds me of, Kenny?
What?
The Matrix, the first one.
You're gonna have to give me some help on that one. I haven't seen Metrics in a long,
So
long time.
right after he wakes up, right, out of the pod, and he's lying on the table in the Icarus, and they have all of those needles in his body to build his muscles because he's never used them before.
Oh, that sounds awful. That sounds awful.
Yeah, the Matrix 1 was pretty awesome. I like that movie. It took a real hard and confusing turn, but the first one was great.
I agree. I like the first one.
What?
I said I agree. I like the first one.
Yeah.
Where is this particular chat? Maybe give me something that isn't
That's
that.
what we should do for one of the TikToks.
What should we do?
Do you remember it was a big thing with like the tinge in it, where they'd shock your arm and you had to try to drink water while you're being shot?
Oh,
What
how-
is your
how long
obsession
ago was
with being
this?
electrocuted?
Because I use a tinge in it every day, and the only way I can make it through is having it on very, very high settings, and I want to see if any of you can actually do it.
I'll tell you right now.
I've had this done to me before.
I
It's
cannot.
Weird. It is weird.
But wouldn't it be a great TikTok?
I mean, it probably would be a great TikTok.
Which means you're doing it.
That's not at all what that means.
He's done it.
I've done it.
I
I
don't
don't
do-
necessarily want to again.
I don't do electricity that well.
Chicken.
I mean,
What?
Chicken.
Bok bok.
if Tony's too much of an idiot, Kenny refuses. I guess I will, but I'd rather not. That's one of those things. I've done it. I don't really want to again.
That's like saying, hey, we should TikTok us pepper spraying each other. Not happening.
No, I mean you did drink hot sauce. So.
What's that?
I mean you did drink hot sauce for a video.
Not the same thing.
Yeah,
You
he
re-
consumed something designed to be consumed.
Not
Not
getting
a
sprayed in
literal
the face.
deterrent. Not a literal deterrent used by law enforcement to make people stop doing what
Have
they're
you
doing.
ever you've been pepper sprayed?
Yes.
Kenny, have you been pepper sprayed?
No,
Have you been pepper sprayed?
Oh,
When was the first time you got pepper sprayed?
I have had.
I was 8 years old.
hot sauce.
You what?
I was
in
8
my
years old.
eyes.
You were 8 years old?
My
By
dad did it to
accident.
me.
Dude, how weird is that? That was the first time I got maced.
My man.
Tell me your story. How'd you get maced?
So I was with my dad, and we were with his.
Well, that was your own
We
fault
were
for doing
we
that.
were with his.
That comment Christmas for you?
So with my dad and his ex-girlfriend, who was his girlfriend at the time, and we were at her dad's place, and her dad was a cop, and so we were just doing a thing, and my dad was very much a
So is getting shot with an airsoft gun point blank.
same. My dad was very much a you're gonna learn to tough it out, boy, kind of dad. And so I was doing something, and my dad says, "Hey, Ian," and I turned my head. Shh. No warning, no nothing. I just got pepper sprayed directly in the face.
Wow.
It was a special kind of hell for a couple minutes.
So, are you done? I don't want to cut you off. Are you done?
Yeah, no, I'm done. That
Okay.
that was the first time I got pepper sprayed. Not the only time, but that was really just, hey, Dad, what?
So I was sitting on my couch watching The Simpsons.
Oh no.
That's always a great way to start the story. I was watching The Simpsons.
I was-
So there I was.
I was
Dark and stormy night.
First off, there I was minding my own business.
Peanut
Thank
butter
you,
on my
Sal.
nipples.
What
Van
did you
Helsing
just say?
or Alucard actually.
I'm sorry. The voices are very similar.
They're the same guy. That's why.
I get tracked. Anyways, continue,
But no,
Alucard.
first off, I was minding my own business.
Alucard.
I was just sitting there. I was sitting there watching The Simpsons. My parents were acting up. The cops got called, and one of them deployed mace and missed and hit me.
You got hit by mistake with a mace. That is beautiful.
I love this joke. Ah!
Isn't it just like,
I was sitting on the couch. It was me and one of my mom's friends who was crippled. His legs weren't working. So we were just hanging out watching The Simpsons. We both got hit. I remember literally looking at the guy and saying, "So I'm gonna go outside now," and I left him there.
isn't it funny? It's like a half second of, what is this? And then all of a sudden, everything just hurts. Everything burns.
Yeah, I was like,
For me, it was like I said, my 8-year-old self, there was no, hey, Ian, do you want to get pepper sprayed? No warning. I was just like, I was just like, ugh.
I walked over to my neighbor's house and was like, "I got spayed. I got hit with some spicy stuff. Can you help me out?"
My dad let me run. My dad let me hurt for about a good 5 minutes, and then he helped wash me off. There was a good 5 minutes. There was like, all right, boy, just tough through the pain. I'm just like,
You know what's one of the worst things you can. You know, it's one of the worst things you can put on your skin when you've been maced.
Water.
You know
Yeah.
what they use to clean me off?
Water.
Vinegar.
No, I wish they would have.
No, they
That
needed to
would
use
have been great.
milk. Milk would have been a lifesaver.
They used water. They're like, "Here, put your head into the sink, honey."
okay, no. So I didn't get pepper spray, but my first interaction with pepper spray was when I was 6 years old. My uncle, who worked in corrections at the time, sprayed some in a glove. I was like, here, take a whiff. Took a big old whiff, and it was just like death. It was death for my 6-year-old self.
All right, I have.
This probably explains a lot.
Apparently, I only saved one biography on my phone, but it was a biography that my friend Evan wrote for me. So this is a biography about me as an XCOM, or my origins in XCOM.
Your XCOM origins, okay.
After killing a legion of sectoids that abducted his school bus, Kenny embarked on a campaign of mass murder that would leave even the framers of the Geneva Convention grudgingly impressed.
Oh.
Kenny decided to return to Earth only after desecrating countless alien worlds and wooing their women with his irresistible charm. During his adventures, he had a fling
Dressed as
with
a
an
dog.
alien queen, but alas, she just wasn't his type. Kenny accepted a position in XCOM on condition that Nancy Pelosi resign as Speaker of the House and return to her home world. XCOM accepted his terms and issued a public statement to the effect that they should have suspected Pelosi sooner and that they, quote, appreciated the save.
Does your friend write for The Simpsons?
No.
So basically, what I'm getting at this is you're like a based space Genghis Khan.
I wish I had the other ones to show you because they are absolutely hilarious.
So I think I'm gonna change in my message. I think I'm gonna change you from what your name is to based Space Kong. Space
I
con.
wonder if it's in a different chat now.
Yeah, this is what's happening right now.
Based Space Kong.
Yeah, because you're literally like Genghis Khan, but uber based and from space. So based space con.
I have so many pictures of my friends.
He will
dying.
remain the
Bathroom.
beef stew in my phone.
As he very well can, but he has no nickname on mine, so this has earned him. a
My
nickname.
friends call me Algernon because that was the person I played in. I was Algernon Moncrief in the. That it's how I show my roommate that I took her dog out.
Oh, okay.
It's like, hey, can you take my? I couldn't tell you why that's on my phone of all things, man. It's super funny looking.
So yeah, there you go, Kenny. Check it.
I don't know why I have it.
Of course there is.
I don't. Oh dear. Well, that's. Oh, I guess I don't have. I think. What the heck? Oh, that's how many alarms. I guess I do not have another one of their. Why is there just a random picture of the bathtub? Well, I'm discovering some things about photos on my phone.
Hello, Arithmetics.
Finally got his name right.
Based space con.
You killed them all, loved their women, and got rid of Pelosi. Based.
I'm so disappointed. I wish I could read you the other biographies because they are hilarious.
Another time.
I don't know when the next time I'm going to log into XCOM 2 is, though.
Touche.
Dang.
I've got some memes here, and I'm gonna pass this around the table, and I want everyone to admire this. This is a pretty good meme. We'll start with Kenny. Rate the meme, Kenny.
Alright, what do we have here?
Hold up. You were wearing an orange coat, an orange safety coat. You took off the orange safety coat,
And you're wearing
and you're wearing an orange safety vest underneath the orange safety coat.
I need to be wearing orange at all times, even if
Might
I'm
as well.
hot.
You might as well put an orange shirt on and do it.
Based.
No, that's not based, sir.
That is super based. I'm
No.
part of the safety team. I have to wear orange at all times, unlike you scrubs who take it off at the first chance.
I'm not gonna lie, I would take it off first chance I got to. And as soon as I quit that
You
job,
wouldn't
I'd
ever
burn
be
it.
an orange. Orange is for the elite.
You'd be like
She's
me.
about the size of a cone, though, so I guess orange.
You'd be a neon green nerd for the rest of your life. D up, Father Eric. Keep talking smack, Jamal. In Jesus' name, I'll break those ankles.
Go ahead, Kenny. Make it through.
I don't think you can.
I'll take over for Kenny.
Father,
No, let him finish. Let him finish. You
Top-
finish those words, Kenny.
top comment. Father, Son, and the Holy Cross up. Second comment. Remember that time Jesus got crossed so hard he died?
For reference, everyone in the audience, it is a picture of what appears to be a Catholic priest getting ready to go down with a small African American child on the basketball court.
One of these days, our production is going to be so good, we can actually just show that.
We need a Jamie from Joe Rogan. Jamie, put that on the screen, please.
Taylor,
It's
that's
just-
your new job.
Nope, that's
You
gonna
will
be,
now be Jamie.
No, Tony, you will forever and always be that guy.
Forget that.
Yep, you were the chairman. You were the chair guy.
So
If
yeah,
you get to rest easy as CEO, you can be chairman too.
the Father, Son, Holy Cross.
Haha.
Hold the cross up. I feel like that's a pretty good meme.
Fine. Guess who's taking my phone calls?
Oh.
Fair enough.
Well, like, hold on. You don't want me answering phone calls because I answer phone calls in the weirdest way.
How about you don't answer phone calls in the weirdest way?
It's an automatic habit now. I can't just
almost read
not
that
do
out loud.
it.
I was really hoping you would. I was really hoping you would.
almost read that whole thing out loud.
That's why I changed the wording when I read it.
Well, I figured that one was pretty. I mean, you only need to change up one word there.
Stream decks make it easy to switch displays.
The Stream Decks make it easy to switch displays. Just a suggestion. I'll definitely have to look into that. Actually, you know what, David? Sometime this weekend, I need to get together with you to go over a few technical things, so that way this production actually kicks it up a little bit.
What did you show him? What did you show him? Oh.
Why are you doing your Joker laugh?
Hi.
I broke Taylor.
Uh-oh.
Why are you doing the Joker laugh?
Remember, Taylor, it's really important. Take a knee.
No.
No,
Ian.
no.
No, down Ian.
There's that line, Ian. The line. Remember the line?
Oh my god.
Go home.
Kenny, you are home. First off, this is yours. We shoot here. Remember?
This is your mess.
No, it's not.
We all get to leave at the end of the night except you.
Where's that really good one I showed Tony a second ago? Oh, here it is.
Take
Hey,
take
Taylor.
his
No,
phone
no,
away from him.
no.
He is grounded.
Oh, I broke her better.
What was that last comment?
You can do it, David. I believe in you.
Remind me never to leave my kid with Ian.
You got really white on that one. like
Let the mask
like
slip a little here,
you
people.
got whiter than Ian.
Ian.
Yes.
Ian and only Ian. What is the difference between a Big Mac and a baby?
What is the difference, Kenny?
About 4 calories. What's the difference between a baby and a trampoline?
Trampolines are bouncy.
I take my shoes off before I get on the trampoline.
I like it. What's worse than a truck full of dead babies, Kenny?
Oh my god.
What's worse than a truck full of...
A truckload of dead babies, Kenny.
Like, I feel like I should be stopping this, but on the other hand, we still have 20 minutes and no content.
Do you give up, Kenny?
What is worse than a truck full of dead babies?
Yes.
2 trucks full of dead babies?
No, Kenny. The one baby at the bottom who's alive, he needs to eat his way to the top to survive.
I am never leaving my child with either one of you.
I don't know if there's any baby that would ever do that.
Do what? I was not paid.
Eat a whole bunch of other dead babies to survive.
Okay, here's a good one. What's worse than 5 babies nailed to one tree?
This got really dark.
What's-
I thought my
Say it
electrocution
Whoa.
comment was dark, but
Hold on.
Hold
Say it
on.
again.
What's worse than 5 babies nailed to one tree?
5 trees nailed to one baby.
No, one baby nailed to 5 trees.
Oh, I was close. I knew it was just some different split of the math there.
What's the difference between a pile of dead babies and a new Ferrari?
let's find a new topic. I don't care what it is, but
Nope,
a
let me finish
different
this.
topic.
Let me
We
finish
all
this
seen
one.
Digimon.
Nope, let me finish
Say
this
it
one.
again.
What's the difference between a pile of dead babies and a Ferrari?
There's not a Ferrari in my garage.
Exactly.
David said that Maverick was better than Top Gun.
You know,
I can see it.
emotional storytelling wise, I will agree it is an overall better film. I think nothing ever will beat watching Maverick flipping off that dude in an inverse dive. That was just one of the greatest. Also, I gotta admit, I think I like Hangman better than Iceman. I just like how suave and absurdly arrogantly cool he is. But I do think that
I like them both. I think that Maverick was better than Top Gun, but I also think that they were both kind of overrated.
I think Top Gun was too full of open-ended volume, like dead space, for how
Agreed.
short a movie it was.
Well, they had to throw in a lot of filler into that one,
And
like
so,
the
I
love
didn't-
scene. The love scene that was an after shoot.
I did
Can we
not
talk
like
about how
short
much
it was.
tongue he was using
and
in
how
that
little
scene too?
content there
Oh
was
my
in Top Gun.
goodness! I guess we're not talking
I
about
thought
that.
I was gonna give it some space. I paused, and it elongated that pause.
Hold on.
My man out.
Hold on.
My man out here
Hold
sounds
on.
like he.
Hold on. If that,
That was a
not
good one,
muffled,
Tony.
that would have been almost an exact replica of Shaggy and Scooby Doo.
Yes.
It sounded like we were
Oh
kicking.
my goodness.
It sounded like we were kickstarting a Harley. Just
Speaking of Dead Space,
That chili
Yeah.
barking spider just belted something fierce.
I think that chili barking spider evolved.
that wasn't the chili
Evolved.
barking spider. That was the chili
It
opera.
belted like a goat. It looked me dead in the eye too. It made eye contact and I couldn't look away.
It stared you down, bro. You went from here to here.
Don't die on me.
My stomach hurts so
Seriously,
bad right now.
if somebody else would have followed that, it would have been a Scooby Doo moment.
I mean, I got
Are
something
you
cooking, but I'm
challenging
trying
me?
I'm glad you're not in one of our chairs.
No, because I've had those wars with my brother,
Are you
and
challenging me?
trust
Just-
me, it's worse than you.
Oh, good heavens.
We need reinforced
don't.
chairs.
Stand up anytime soon.
My face hurts
Don't.
from smiling.
Stand up. What? You think he's like suctioned himself to that chair?
I think
At
he
this
might
point,
have.
Yes.
Don't break the seal, Tony. Because that's how biology works.
Don't break the seal, Ted.
COVID.
COVID test rips one.
Coronavirus, the revenge.
Tastes like Nally chili.
Oh no. David says that Eccleston was the best doctor.
I don't know.
I think you mispronounced David Tennant.
Yeah. You misspelled David Tennant.
I don't know any who or whatever. Who's Eccleston?
You guys came up and started this
He's
stuff
the one who he's
last time.
he was the one who was after Matt Damon.
I don't even know who Matt Damon is. No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say.
I loved the amount of hoopla that we were giving
Oh, yeah.
Doctor Who last session.
It was
It was gold tier trolling.
But I am still very proud to say that I know more than Tony,
Yes, you are.
as he has continued
Taylor
to tell
is
me
the
that
gold
he's...
standard of Whovians.
I was
As he
having
dominated you.
listen, I was having an off night,
sucked.
okay?
You got dominated.
failed.
You kept
To be
correcting
fair, you got
me.
easier questions, but you got dominated.
Tony, the last time we saw something crash and burn this hard, George Bush told us there were WMDs in Iraq.
He knew how to deal with the media.
And most of mine were steals,
What
by
are
the
we doing
way.
in the Middle East? They have WMDs. And that's how 20 plus years of lives wasted in the Middle East started.
Yeah.
I am not a fan, I'm not an endorser, and I'm not proud of our campaign in the Middle East.
Sadly.
Too many people died for that nonsense.
Agreed. And now the Taliban are recognized at the UN. and that kinda just
Listen here,
sickens me.
David. He didn't want more time. He actually hates the doctor.
He did. He honestly admitted to hating that role. But he came back nonetheless.
No, Tennant did. Eccleston didn't.
No.
It's going to itch when it tries. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, baby
You're going to need a
Potter.
shower after that one, I guess.
Sounded a little wet there,
Little-
Tony.
Little change of clothes.
We'll change of clothes, get some butt paste.
Tony, me walking a little funny out of here.
Sorry, the only change of clothes here that I have is your 5-year-old. And I don't think you'll fit.
I mean, he'd fit lengthwise, but not widthwise.
On the toilet? What?
Where?
Into 5-year-old clothes, because you're about the size of a 5-year-old, just wide.
Oh, I mean, maybe if the clothes were designed for Cartman, I might fit.
My man out here, the size of Cartman, the width.
What?
My man out here built like a thumb from the Spy Kids movies.
He's not that tall.
No, but he's about that thick and
No,
rotund.
no, not a thumb. Okay, I'm clearly a floop. You're the thumb.
At least he's a
Oh, he's too tall for the thumb.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. He's a big toe.
He makes a big toe look pretty good then.
Did you just admit to having a foot fetish?
No. I don't.
Kenny coming out on air, people.
What?
Kenny likes feet.
You know, I thought I was
You heard
going to
it. It's
compliment
recorded.
you.
There's a video of
Video.
it.
Kenny
Can't-
wants to sniff your toes.
You can't walk it back.
Kenny wants to lick your toes.
Can't compliment a
Kenny
dude.
wants to suck on your big toe.
Have you seen that TikTok where
All right, David, I'll give you that one. That's a good point.
The guy's saying to his friend, "Man, you look good today," and he's like,
And clipped.
"Are you?"
I like that. Like this.
Say
Yeah,
what?
I know.
He's like, "Are you confident in your sexuality? Then tell me I'm looking fine. Tell me I'm looking juicy. Ask me what I'm doing with all this rear."
And he goes,
I'd wear it.
"You're looking fine. You're looking juicy. What are you doing?"
Hey,
over
thanks for
there?"
the compliment, man. You too. And then he just continues on normally.
Yeah, I've seen
Like I was
that.
trying to start a moment like that, but of course Tony had to make it gay. Because that's always Tony's first comment.
Had to do what? What did I make gay?
I mean, it's not gay because feet are both men and women.
I was gonna go
Not
into like how nice your
wrong.
beard is, but then like he brought in feet and made it gay, and
I dated
I'm
a
sorry,
guy.
he
That's
made
what-
it so easy for me to jump on that train.
there's a reason I'm beef stewing his phone.
Hold on. We're talking about feet. I dated a guy who was so obsessed with my feet, he would steal my dirty socks. I had to buy new pairs of socks and hide my socks. And no, I'm not joking either.
Ian, how could you do that?
I was.
Don't you dare put that crap on me.
I was so
No.
trying
I
to
like
keep
how she
that
made
out.
unflinching eye contact with Ian when she described that story too.
I was doing my best to
Taylor,
not
Taylor.
say that.
Taylor, blink 3 times if you need help.
It was not you, Ian.
It better not have been me because it wasn't me.
I was saying, unless you stole my socks,
For
and
the
I didn't
outside
know, that'd
home,
be a
she
little
was
creepy.
nodding her
She
head
broke-
up and down. Yes.
She broke eye contact when she said that. She was
No,
clearly
she
lying.
made direct eye contact
She
with me when
broke
she
eye
said that.
contact. She said
She
it
made
was not
direct
you,
eye
Ian.
contact with me when she said that. No, I mean, if I'm going to say anything.
Prove
about
it.
Taylor,
What?
was it me?
The directness of her
Did
eye
you steal
contact
any
was
of my
about as straight as
socks?
No,
Freddie
I did not
Mercury.
steal anything of yours.
Oh, he's getting pretty defensive.
I gave you a
Sounds
microwave
like a
for
lot of
Christ's
sock-
sakes.
Sounds
Yes, you
like a
did.
sock
I had that
sock
microwave
stealer,
forever.
kid.
It's a good microwave, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
I don't think y'all heard my comment,
No.
but I want to repeat it because I don't want it to go away as an Easter egg for someone else to find in the comment section.
What did you say?
I said the directness of her eye contact was about as straight as Freddie Mercury.
Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, accurate, but ooh.
Ooh.
They always die so young.
I'm waiting for the next.
And clipped.
No, but you do know the guy that did do it.
No, I do not.
Ian does.
Oh, no.
Yes.
So I was just an upgrade in every way, huh?
Yeah, that was a...
Well,
I'd have
putting her
another
on the
guy.
spot there, ego.
I have another guy, like, and who I was friends with, who's almost as big as you, like tall wise. Come to my apartment.
Why are you looking
to
at me?
make
Did you look at me
Clearly,
first?
She's not talking to
He
me, dude.
He would not leave my house.
Deflecting.
So, there was a guy almost as big as you. He looks right at me. I was like, dude, you are like a foot taller than I am.
No, dude, you looked at me first. That's why I looked back at you.
Because she was talking to you. I wanted to see
I'm
your
sorry.
expression.
I saw eye contact,
You,
so I
like,
just met your
just,
eye
like,
contact.
staring at me. He's like,
The
it
fact
clearly
that you
isn't
knew who
me.
exactly it was.
I have to
that,
admit, the stark difference in size between Dusty and Ian is phenomenal.
It kind of is
You
hilarious.
ran the full range.
It's like what you see between the rogue and barbarian and D&D is just
Taylor, like, if this was Sims and it was character creation, you've made the largest and smallest characters.
you maxed out and minimized both ends of the spectrum on that one.
What?
I'm genuinely convinced you could like fit like if you just like hollowed me out, you could fit
It
two
was
of
like she
Dusty
was.
inside
It
of
was.
me.
It's like she was vexed and she dated
Yeah.
Grog and Scanlan.
Dang.
It's like those Mortal Kombat characters,
Aw,
like the little one
man.
and the big one's back.
That comment fell on deaf ears. It was a good one too.
I heard you. I heard your Vox Machina comment.
Dude, did you see the season finale?
Nope.
You have to
I've only seen season 1. Ooh.
Watch the second season.
The only thing I've seen from season 2 is their fight with Grog's uncle. That's the only thing I've seen from season 2.
Dude,
No,
that's
David,
a good episode.
I did not just call myself a tauntaun.
Well, talking about cutting yourself open and fitting people inside you, yeah, that's tauntaun.
Wait, when did he start talking about cutting people? Wow, I'm sitting right next to him. I didn't hear that. You're talking about putting people inside you?
No, like if
Specifically
if you, like,
Dusty.
cut me and hollowed me out. We were talking about like how big I am compared to how small Dusty is. If we like cut me and hollowed me out, we could fit like 2 or 3 of them inside of me, like a mech suit almost.
So if we put 3 Dusties on top of each other in a trench coat,
We
they look
combine
like
3
Ian.
Dusties together. It's like Voltron. We combine 3 Dusties, we get Neon.
It's like the first episode of Gravity Falls with the
Gnomes.
With the gnomes.
I'm not really a person, guys. I'm 3 people masquerading inside a hoodie.
I mean, I can believe that. I've had conversations with you.
Yeah, the voices in my head do tend to take over from time to time. They're so loud.
Wow. You do have to admit, though, the difference between Ian and Dusty is astounding.
There's a difference.
I am the same
Holy-
height as him on my knees.
That is so funny. Did you actually demonstrate that?
He walked through one time, and I was on my knees on her floor, and I rose up to like just full height, like 90-degree bend to my knees, and we were eye level.
That is so beautiful. That does put a smile on my face. There's so much beauty in the world.
And no shade to Dusty either. I'm just gargantuously, freakishly large. Like for everyone at home who doesn't know, I am 6'5". I fill doorways.
And for reference, Dusty is only 5'4".
That's a lot of difference. That's over a foot difference.
That's 13 inches of just mass.
What's going on here?
I read that comment, David. That is amazing.
Darn it. I walked into that one.
Yes,
Yes,
you did.
yes, you did.
Oh, my face hurts from smiling so
Dude,
much.
you didn't just walk into it. You walked in and announced yourself.
Here I am.
I made my presence known. Oh, my face hurts so badly from smiling.
Ooh. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I have to admit, I thought this one was going to be a little bit slower, but time is
we
flying.
really kind of made one.
We cracked a lot of jokes on this one.
We did.
Holy smokes.
I like it.
We actually had some really good conversation pieces, though.
Again, whenever it gets to like geopolitics or history, it's usually just Ian and I.
The only reason I was on my knees, David, was because there was no room on the couch.
I love you, David.
I don't know if that helps.
You did. That didn't help at all, bud.
How did it not help at all? There's no room for me to sit on the couch, so I'm on my knees on the floor.
Yeah, but that's not what you said.
That is literally just because there was no room on the couch.
No. Yeah, the only reason you were on your knees was because there was no room on the couch.
Yeah,
What are
to
y'all doing?
sit.
Think about it.
I guess I'm pulling a blank here because I was genuinely just referencing just the no room to sit on the couch.
You are so innocent.
How am I innocent?
You sweet, sweet summer child.
Tony, think about some of the conversations we have had. Are you really going to call me innocent?
This podcast. Has
Oh my
taken
lord.
so my dear God.
Good God,
What
Tony.
an answer. Think about it, Tony. Of the
Oh.
conversations we had. Chili barking spider.
That's a rather big bark.
Man,
You deserve that pain.
you got an infestation or something, Taylor.
I'd say you need to gas it out, but I think you're already gassing it
You're gonna
out.
need more than spray. You're gonna need a young priest and a Gavin.
Ow, my face hurts so
One day I
badly.
don't have a Gavin though.
Quick, call your wife. We need an airdrop, Gavin.
Airdrop Gavin.
Just like one of those Halo Reach drop ODST
No,
drop
that's
pods,
it.
just through the roof.
He can't
Door
afford
pods
that. He'll get a trebuchet. Tony would manufacture a trebuchet and launch Gavin.
It's like 3D print a catapult, a Gavin
Dear
bolt.
God, I
A
can
Gavin
smell
bolt?
that one.
I appreciate the pun, Tony. The Gavapult. That was beautiful.
open. Tony, I have literally handled dead bodies that smell less worse than this.
You have to drive home with him.
The hell I do. Boy, I'll walk home.
I was gonna say, Kenny, deny him a ride. Deny him a ride.
I
now.
wouldn't ask. Oh.
My nose is plugged and I can still smell it.
My nose isn't. I envy you. You at least get a little bit.
I know defense against the dark farts. I'm well versed in combating bad flatulence.
Fabrizio.
Wait, hold on a second.
Fabrizio!
Wingardium Lysolia.
Man, your spells are on point.
Taylor just cast Fabrizio. Perfect.
Fabrizio! Wingardium Lysolia.
Now you smell of lavender.
Wingardium Lysolia.
Oh, David, we will definitely bring you in on a Discord. Let's try to shoot for next week.
That would be
we'll,
hilarious.
We'll set up a Discord for you.
Good enough for government work.
Good enough for good. Are we rushing conscripts now? Where's my AK-12?
I like how
Oh,
that.
right.
I like that description. If you had to like take a way to describe Russian soldiers right now, it's
Good enough for government work.
Good enough for government work.
Government.
All right, guys, we're gonna wind this up.
Do it again.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Off the Rails podcast. I've been your host Kenny, joined here
It
with
was surprisingly.
Taylor, and along beside me is.
Chili Barking Spiders.
The Barking Spiders McGee here. I am
The
Tony.
professor of the dark farts.
I am Tony, apparently the guy in the chair pushing all the buttons and casting the dark farts. Next to me,
And I'm Ian, who apparently also with Kenny knows Defense Against the Dark Farts because I've pioneered the spells of Fabrizio and Wingardium Lysolia, and I'm
But
here
I
with.
am the one that actually performed it.
So I'm Kenny. And
Well, you were my
thank you so
student.
much for joining us. As I'm eating a chip, this is super professional. Tony, go ahead and hit him with all the links that we have.
All
for
right,
contacting us.
everyone. Hey, if you like this, yep, and apparently David's in the comments. If you like this, please do us a favor, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe, share. Find us on our TikToks, our Twitter, obviously our YouTube, and our Rumble. And as always, Internet,
It's your move, Internet.